Hello, Prudential Sales Executives, for our video message of the week. All right, we're going to talk about sphere this week. And I don't want you to build just a sphere. We're going to talk about building a super sphere. It's tough to say 10 times in a row. All right, let's get started here. All right, first question that I want you to ask yourself is, why do I build a sphere? I mean, let's just talk about it. And there's the basics of building a sphere that is pretty uniform throughout our entire industry. One reason is, well, past and present relationships. I want to better communicate and better organize, that information. All right, totally makes sense. Another reason people build a sphere is maybe for a specific area or specific neighborhood they want to focus on. Another great reason. That is the basics of building a sphere. What do you build on that sphere? What do you look for? Well, I want name. I want address. I want email address. Again, all the basics. Very important. Now, if you don't have at least the basics and a lot of accurate information of what I just covered, like name, phone numbers, email addresses that they utilize, their key email addresses, you definitely need to work on that and make that better. But how do we turn a sphere into a super sphere? All right. Well, there's a piece that's really missing out of this concept of sphere. And why do we build it? So I want to add one item to this. And that is, the other reason you want to build a sphere is it's your asset. In our world, in the real estate business, our asset is our sphere. The people we touch, be it that they're past clients or relationships that maybe we've never worked with as of yet. That is the asset that we have. A convenience store, part of their asset is being in the same location for years and years. And when they're ready to sell or move on, they can sell that asset to someone else who maybe is in the convenience store business. Our business, is the real estate business, and it's dealing with people. How do we package that? Well, one way is our sphere. So it's very important. So let's talk a little bit about taking your sphere to the next level. First, you got to think about what you're creating here. So you got to start thinking about from a mindset that I'm building an asset here. Now, what would my asset want? Well, clearly it wants accurate information like we talked about a few minutes ago. But more importantly, it needs more information. Let me give you some examples. What about family birthdays, favorite restaurants, why they moved to the particular state that they're in, what they do for a living, what hobbies do they do, what sports are their kids in, what schools are their children in. Again, birthdays not only for them, but for their children. What do they like to do in their free time? Where do they like to go to travel? Schools, sports that their children are in. This is where you build now a super sphere. Now think about this. Where can you get all that information in one place? Right, nowhere. Nowhere. So you have something that cannot be created, unless you truly have that relationship. Now the other key with this is, it is not something that is built in a certain period of time. You've got to think longer term about this. It's not a short term. You're not sitting down when you meet someone and go, schools, birthdays, favorite restaurants. It's not what this is about. So this next step is to really make this work is you got to be intentional about it. And that is, first of all, like I said, is you got to be thinking longer term. You're not thinking short term. There's no end date to this. So how do you go about doing this? Well, one, you're clear that when you communicate with someone, you're thinking about this information. And in doing so, one of your goals is every time you talk to them and communicate, one, you now have a better connection because you have more information about them. You can discuss more intimate areas of their lives. That means you care. And you have all this information in front of you. And very importantly, every time you speak with them, you're looking to increase that knowledge base. So maybe you're picking up one additional piece of information each and every time you have a conversation. What a great goal. What a great way to be intentional about your business be intentional about your business and making sure that you're growing an asset through the process. Have a great week, everybody, and remember, be intentional and build a super sphere. Bye-bye.